Hey everybody, my name is Adam Vaughn. I'll be your instructor for MNT 110, Intro to Maintenance Procedures this semester. Thought I'd make just a really short video to tell you a little bit about me, my experience, my background, and introduce you to the course content. So again, Adam Vaughn. I went to Surrey Community College and graduated there in 2000. And in the year 2000, I started working on cars, so that's my background. I'm by trade a mechanic or technician. People don't like the word mechanic anymore, so technician. And I worked on, back then it was Pontiacs, which they no longer make, but Buicks, GMCs, Chevrolets, a lot of used Hondas, anything, whatever came in, but my main thing was drivability and transmission work. The last 3 or 4 years of my tenure there, that's what I've done. Most of it was transmission stuff, automatic transmission, some manuals, but I wanted you to know that I'm a car guy, and I still like to get my hands dirty and still like to work on stuff. So in 2005, I started teaching part-time at Surrey, just 2 nights a week. Looking back on it, those were 2 really good years because I was teaching. I was working on cars all day, and then I could go into a class that night and be like, hey, you won't believe the crazy, mess of wires that a mouse chewed through I saw today. Or it was neat to be able to share my experiences there. So 2007, they offered me a position full-time, which I accepted. So I stopped working on cars and I taught automotive systems technology beginning in 2007. In 2020, or let me back that up, in 2018 they offered me a spot as a division chair. So for the last, from there up in 2018 to 2020, I was over all of the hands-on programs there. So I was actually over mechatronics, which I think all of you are in now. So my programs consisted of automotive, auto body, welding, machining, electrical, electronics, mechatronics, construction, HVAC, and drafting. So I had a really heavy workload. And some things changed at the college and a new opportunity presented itself. So in 2020, I took a job here, and I hope most of you have heard of this place. If I can get the picture to blow up, that is Altech. That is the Altech facility in Mount Airy, North Carolina. Probably the largest employer in Surrey County. We have almost 400 employees there. So when you first enter the place here, and that's not a very good picture because the place is huge. So this is the main office, and off to the left, it's all final assembly, manufacturing. So they do a lot of welding, a lot with robotics, a lot of painting, a lot of bolt-on pieces, a lot of fabrication. They build trucks. They take Freightliners, Internationals, some Fords, Dodges, whatever. They take rolling chassis, and then they put their digger derricks or platforms or whatever. So let me see if I can find a better picture of a actual product. That's a pretty good picture of a digger derrick. So we do a lot of those in the service area. Most of what they actually build at Mount Airy is they were doing some chippers. They do some platform trucks. They do some chip trucks like tree trucks, things like that. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that in Mount Airy we are heavily involved in manufacturing. Now for me personally, when you're looking at the front of the building off to the right, that's service. So the job that I accepted in 2020 is my official title is Service Shop Supervisor. So on the left side of the building they build trucks, on the right side of the building we fix them when they come in. We never know from day to day if it's going to be a digger derrick like I was telling you, or a platform truck. So a lot of lighting, signs, power companies. If some of what I'm saying doesn't make sense, but if you'll kind of take notice, you'll see these trucks everywhere. I mean everywhere. Altech is huge in over 100 countries throughout the world. Excellent place to work. We do a lot of 5S and lean and a lot of things you've probably been introduced to in mechatronics already. Some things I'd be glad to talk about. That's important to me for all of you to know too, that I left out some of my educational background, but I finished I graduated Surrey Community in 2000 with a 2-year degree, And then around 2000, I'm trying to remember what year I graduated, I think 17, so it would have been about 2012, 2013, I started taking online classes towards a bachelor's degree. So I have a bachelor's in industrial supervision, and it took me 5 years going at the only pace I could go at. I'm married and had smaller kids at that time, and so I want you to know that if you're taking other online courses, I feel your pain. It's hard to sit down in front of a computer, and it's hard to keep focus, and there's cell phones, and there's people in the background, and there's all kinds of distractions. Find your quiet spot, whatever that is. I've got a little pond right here at the house, and when I was taking online classes, that was mine. I would just tell the family, look, I'm out for 2 hours. I'm going to go down here and do some coursework out in the sunlight. But I've been there, and I've done the online stuff. Just know that you can always send me a message, contact me. If you ever need to meet or have any questions, please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to let me know. So I've rambled long enough here. I've got these little videos timed to where they won't let me go longer than 15 minutes, which y'all are probably happy about. I won't post many of these if I see a decline in grades or that everybody had a lot of trouble with a particular assignment or something like that. I have no problem hopping on here and making one, but for the most part, I'm going to leave you to your work, let you do your stuff. I'm going to support you when you've got issues, problems, questions. Always, always, always. Just contact me and let me know. We can do a Teams meeting. We can do whatever will help you succeed. I'm here for you, and I mean that. So if all of you should have been there for a couple of semesters, but just to walk through it, here's the StormTrack login. You would click Current Students, and then yours may look a little different than mine, but for me, I log into StormTrack right there. And that brings up, again, I've got faculty and some things you may not have, but on mine I've got daily work and then Moodle. And then from there I can pick whichever Moodle class I want to see. So we're doing Spring 2023, and then the same thing I just had up over there. I've spent a lot of time laying this course out, trying to get it concise. I use some material from other instructors. So again, my bachelor's is in industrial supervision, so I've taken a lot of these classes, and I've taken an industrial maintenance class, but I didn't have a lot of material to give to you. Frankly, I found out that I was doing this class almost last minute, that's fine. It's okay. But the previous, or some of the stuff I was given was just laid out, and I know I'm thumbing through this really quickly, but I was just showing you, I don't really care for this particular layout. And I have the first couple of weeks, I think, pretty well in order. So you'll see, like, and I know I'm getting ahead here, but some of the videos that I've posted, like this one right here, I don't have the video straight on this page, but if you'll click the link, it will bring up the video for you. And that is a horrific video. Just so you know, it goes through a lot of just terrible OSHA violations, and the McWayne story kind of molded the way the government handles some OSHA violations. So it's very good, and I've tried to do that through this course. The expectation is about 4 hours a week of coursework. So in some of these weeks, there's going to be more reading and there's going to be more writing, and then in some, I've tried to throw some videos in there just to break it up a little bit, and some discussions, but we'll talk about that as I scroll through. So when you first start off here, I'll post course announcements every week. I have one here that is timed. Been having some slow computer problems. So this just tells you a little bit about the week. I'll do this every week. I'll have them so they'll come out on Monday morning. All of your course material will open on Monday of that week. You have until 11:55 p.m. on Sunday to complete your work. So I may not always put those dates in the description or the assignment. Like for here, I just have week 1. Now in this part, you can see I've got it broken down into opens up on Monday, January 9th, closes on Sunday the 15th. So the next week will open up on the 16th, close on the 22nd, with the exception of some holidays and things like that. That's how we'll roll right through 16 weeks. Everything opens on Monday, closes on the following Sunday. We open up the syllabus. I'm going to go through this really quickly. The main thing for this course that you will need, there's no text required. Like I said, I've pulled resources from instructors that I had that taught for me at Surrey. I've pulled some things from East Carolina, the classes that I've taken. My boss at Davidson has given me a few things, so I feel like we're going to be fine. But if you're struggling with an assignment, I've given you some, an impossible question, you can always just let me know and use the discussion forums, and I'll go over those too in just a second. There's my line. Please don't procrastinate. And I put in here, and it's part of your syllabus quiz, I will not respond to emails on Sundays. Well, typically, please try not to email me on a Sunday. I'm not a hard guy to get along with. If you've got problems and I'm around, Sunday's kind of a family, we go off and do things kind of day, but I keep a check on it. I get them on my phone. Just do the best you can to try to get your work done, Monday through Friday and a little bit Saturday. Try not to put it off on Sundays or until Sundays. On that note, I do go into work every morning at 6. I leave here at 5:15, so I go to bed around 8:30, 9, somewhere around there. Just keep that in mind. Your first assignment is a syllabus quiz. Very important that you do this. This will be the first counted grade. It's very easy. Just open up the syllabus that I just had, and you can see the questions it's all straight right there. If I have computer, internet, or software issues, the instructor will understand. I'm pretty strict on that. Now, I don't accept late work. If you have something that's come up and you can tell me a day or two ahead of time, again, I'm not a terrible person to get along with, but as a rule, you can't email me your work Monday because you forgot to upload it Sunday or any of that stuff. I'm not going to go for any of that. If you've got an emergency, a personal issue, I'll work with you, but that can't happen every week, and do your absolute best to make sure that does not happen. This is grayed out, but every week there will be, I say every week, I might give you a break here or there, but just be mindful that most of the time you're going to have a discussion forum to do. This one here, open forum, that's for all of you to use. You can post questions in there, talk to each other there, use it as a resource, speak to each other. You probably are in classes together. You may not need it, but if you do, it's there to use. Week 1, we go through industrial safety and careers. Introductions, that's a discussion forum. I just want you to tell me a little bit about yourself, your career choice, why you're here. And then we go straight down the line. Industrial careers, there's your first assignment. There's a PowerPoint on industrial safety, and then your first quiz. So a lot of weeks you'll have a quiz. Sometimes there'll be written assignments, sometimes there'll be quizzes. And again, I have this thing to time off in 15 minutes, and I'm about 13 and a half. So one more thing I wanted to show you is the way that you'll be graded. So your discussion forums, and this is all in the syllabus, but your discussion forums will count cumulatively for 15% of your grade. The little quizzes will be 25%. Tests and other assignments. So you'll have at least 2 tests, and then the other assignments would be written assignments, questions that you answer from handouts and things like that. Final exam will be 20%. One last thing up here, if you're not comfortable, if you don't want to ask fellow students questions or anything like that in the open forum, if you'll click here, you can send me a message straight on here. I would prefer that to getting 100 emails. But again, I'm 14 minutes and 32 seconds in. I think it's laid out pretty well. I may change some things in the syllabus. I may try to add a few sections and take a couple away. If that happens, I will absolutely let you know. But for right now, I've got it laid out into the 16 weeks like I want. Again, if you have any questions, give me a shout. Thanks.